What is going on, people of YouTube? My name's Kurtyoy and welcome back to a brand new video where we are discussing the fixtures, the first 6 fixtures. It's been a while since I discussed that with you guys. We've gone through the teams that have the best starts. Now it's time to look at the teams maybe you should avoid for at least the first 6 game weeks. I've picked out a few teams, some big, some small, that maybe you should stray away from. And weirdly enough, one team made it into both videos. Good start and a bad start. Can you guess who? It should, if you looked at the fixtures, I reckon you'd be able to guess it. If you looked at the first video, I reckon you'd be able to guess it. Let's have a look. Starting off, of course, with Arsenal. Now, if it wasn't tough enough for Arsenal at the moment, Sanchez could be moving, Ozil could be moving, arguably their best 2 players at the club, and the fact they've got no Champions League football, so much to contend with, yet we find Arsenal also having quite a bad start to the season. They start off with home games against Bournemouth, West Brom and Leicester, away games against Stoke, Liverpool and Chelsea. Now it is quite a tough start for Arsenal. We've also got to consider the fact that none of those teams are going to be really struggling down below. Liverpool and Chelsea away from home are massive tests. Liverpool always good against the top 6 sides, and Chelsea, well, after the season they had last season, this season you don't expect the same. But of course the FA Cup win did come to Arsenal against Chelsea. Leicester, Stoke, Bournemouth and West Brom are all those games where you sort of think something could go wrong. Are you looking at the fact that they even lost to West Brom? Did they? I'm not sure. But they're tough games. They're tough games. And that's why I think that it's a, not an easy start for them. Maybe, if you only got those 2 games, against Liverpool and Chelsea, the other games could be good, but I feel like it could be a really slow start for Arsenal. Next up, we've got Everton, who are complaining for match fixing already, as they believe a Liverpool fan was allowed to pull out the fixtures and get them started. You're looking at their front 6. You got Stoke at home, Man City away, Chelsea away, Tottenham at home, Man United away, Bournemouth at home. It's a really tough game. First 3 away games against the top 6 teams, and not some easy ones either. It's going to be incredibly tough. I'd say really stay away. The defences especially, they're going to concede in all 4 of the top 6 games. The home games maybe not, but those 4 games, stay away. Any Everton player, I'd say stay away, because the chances are they won't do too well, they won't pick up as many points. The players will drop in price. Hopefully by the time game week 7 comes around, then you can look at bringing them in, or maybe even game week 6 as they have Bournemouth there, and it could start a journey a little bit better. But yeah, Everton, really tricky start, and yeah, they won't be enjoying that. Another really awful start when it comes to facing up against the top 6 teams is Leicester, and they also face 4 of the top 6 teams. Their first 6 fixtures: Arsenal away, Brighton at home, Man United away, Chelsea at home, Huddersfield away and Liverpool at home. It's a very interesting start. You've got the 4 big teams. You expect them to maybe battle out, maybe get a point against 1 or 2 of them, maybe if you're lucky, but you expect the big 4 teams to potentially swipe Leicester aside. You've also got the fact they've got 2 awkward games against the relatively unknown powers of Brighton and Huddersfield, having just been promoted from the Championship. So it could be a really bad start for Leicester. Of course, be really good. They could put their counter-attacking play back in if they find a good holding midfielder to sort of match up the likes of Kante when they won the league. They could also start the season with a huge advantage when it comes to avoiding relegation, getting to maybe even a European qualification place. But again, another team I stay away from in FPL points of view is definitely Leicester. And if you hadn't guessed the team that made it into both videos, it was Burnley. Burnley, I did say in the first video, a shocking start, but if you look at the likes of Heaton, I think you could be in there. That's why I put him in a mention. But in general, shocking start. 3 away games against 3 big 6 teams, and you're thinking their away form was bad last season. You expect them to finish, well, get no points from their first 3 away games. And the first 3 home games are difficult. West Brom, Crystal Palace and Huddersfield are their first 3 in that order. So it's going to be an interesting first 3 games, but at home definitely. But I can see a bad start for Burnley. Of course, Heaton may be keen a few defenders, getting those bonus points in for constant defending, but I feel like Burnley could be off to a really slow start. Next up, we've got an interesting one in Crystal Palace. Now, their first 6 fixtures: Huddersfield at home, Liverpool away, Swansea at home, Burnley away, Southampton at home and Man City away. Now, they've got some awkward away games. Burnley had a phenomenal home record from where they were in the table. You've also got the big six teams. You've got Man City and also Liverpool to face off against, two teams you would not want to go to the home to. Well, considering the fact they beat Crystal Palace, or beat Liverpool, sorry. Why do I think it'll be hard? Well, they've got no Big Sam at the helm. No Big Sam, and he really revolutionised them. Now we've got to the point where could they lose some players because of Big Sam? Saka was a massive feature for them, played fantastic and phenomenal football and helped them in the defence for a lot of the time, but he's gone. Another thing you're looking at is 3 awful away games. So I think it could be a really slow start for Palace. Definitely avoid the defences. They will concede in almost every game, I'll tell you that as a fact, but their attack could be worth looking at. Benteke could be a problem for teams like Liverpool and like Crystal Palace, like Man City. You also got Wilfried Zaha, you've got Puncheon potentially coming into play. There are a multitude of attackers that you can choose from. Depending on who they play, they could sign more players, but I'd look into them maybe as a 5th option or a 3rd option in the attack, depending on who you go for. But yeah, I think Palace will have a dreadful start to the season. Now when it comes to a mid-table side picking a dreadful first 6, I think they'd pick it as first 3 home games against big 6 opposition and away games against tricky opposition, and unfortunately that has fallen to Stoke. Their first 6 games, looking at Everton away, Arsenal at home, West Brom away, Man United at home, Newcastle away and Chelsea at home. They are incredibly awkward games, and games I think if they had a choice they would definitely not pick those 6. You're looking at the first 3 home games. Yes, you're looking at Stoke as a tough place to go, but Mark Hughes, I feel like the term, not in the in the harsh way, but the term dinosaur comes into play, is very outdated. I don't think his long-term availability is going to be there much longer for Stoke. I think it could be seeing maybe even this season the end of Mark Hughes. But the away games they could pick something on. Goodison, Everton would be desperate to get points from that, knowing that the next 4 is top 6 opposition. So I don't think they'll get a point against or anything against Everton. You also got West Brom and Newcastle at home. West Brom again is a tough place to go. Maybe could see a board draw in that one. And Newcastle, the money that they're rumoured about spending on this player and that player, who knows what they could start with. But I could see Stoke first 6 games 0 points, and that is genuinely an honest opinion. Our penultimate team that have a shocking start is Watford. Now, yes, they've made a good signing recently. As I'm recording this, they have signed Hughes from Derby, and I really do rate him. I think he's got a fantastic, fantastic technical play, and he could be a really good signing for them. But you also got the fact you got to look at their fixtures, which goes is Liverpool at home, Bournemouth away, Brighton at home, Southampton away, Man City at home, and Swansea away. Now, you got to look at that and you think, what can happen? Well, you've got 2 home games against 2 big teams. You expect them to, go to Vicarage Road and beat Watford. Albeit, yes, you've got Marco Silva, but maybe he's a bit overrated. I do think that he's done a fantastic job, could do a fantastic job at Watford. Slightly overrated, but I think Watford could stay up with Marco Silva. Then the away games. Bournemouth, I feel like it's a tough place to go. Bournemouth will always score goals against you. Southampton, really tough place to go, and with Manuel Pellegrini in charge, I think Southampton can move forward a step or 2 this season. And Swansea, I think they'll be fighting for their lives, willing to get every point. And with Watford having a shocking away record, they did last season, I feel like again it could be a really poor start. I pick up points here or there, but I'd say stay away from Watford players too. And lastly, we have West Ham, who are feeling the effects of their new stadium yet again. And yes, they've been there for a year now. A whole season has passed. But there's a problem with that. The Athletic Championships are going on, which means their first, home game has been moved to an away game. So their fixtures, oh dear, are Man United, Southampton, Newcastle, all away from home. Huddersfield at home, West Brom away from home, and Tottenham at home. Now, yes, later on in the season that does mean they have an extra home game. So after play their first 19, the second 19, they're going to be more home games than away games. But you've also got to contend with, that's 4 away games in the first 6. For a team that relatively underperformed until the latter parts of the season, where they did improve. But I think the first 3 away games are really hard places to go. You also got West Brom, it's a hard place to go. Tottenham, yes, they beat them, but again, Tottenham looking to get off to a good start, and also looking to improve their away form And then their last game is Huddersfield, which you'd really want them to win because they could have really slow start again. But it's going to be interesting. I'd say it's a risky one. No defenders from West Ham, I'd say. But look at those attackers. If Antonio's fit, if Lanzini's fit, I'd say those two could be a little bit of a gem. But that happens to be that for this video. I hope you've enjoyed them. If you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know who do you think has the worst start in the league. Maybe one of the teams I've mentioned. Maybe I've missed one. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you like, comment, subscribe, and peace.